coming up on if the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix was a video game. Norris is a fucking idiot. Verstappen's penalty is fucking lovely. And Piastri leads the fucking championship. But first, let's speedrun it.
Round 1. Player 1. Ready. Player 2. Ready. Fight.
Giancarlo, you are still 2 seconds a lap slower than Fernando. This cannot be possible. Midweek, Dr. Helmut Marko let slip that Max's performance clause in his contract expires before the summer break. Max can leave if he is lower than third in the Drivers' Championship. The weekend begins with some useless daytime practice running for an event where all the important stuff is done at night, while Oscar continues his battle with the drink from Bahrain. Lando is the fastest of the championship contenders in the 3 practice sessions, so congrats Lando on the Practice Cup, but the V8 boys are ready to take on quali and the race. Qualifying saw Narrows crack like old paint as he overcorrected a simple slide to end his run in 10th. Max and Oscar are playing chess, not checkers out there, as their heavyweight bout continued into Jeddah. Separated by a single hundredth of a second, unfortunately, in the favour of the Flying Dutchman. Martin Brundle must be an original scriptwriter of The Simpsons with his bang-on predictions of turn 1, with Oscar pushing Max off the track. The stewards agree it's Oscar's corner, but give Max a real shot at undoing the damage. However, this is Oscar we're talking about. The race was won before turn 2. Sky Sports continue to give Norris that good head as he dwindles his way up this field slowly, taking advantage of the mediocre midfield. Gabriel Bortoleto tried to assassinate his manager Fernando. Imagine if it wasn't Gabe who attacked Nando. His radio might have been less sporting. The race concludes with Oscar claiming another win, the 5th of his career, matching his experienced teammate. Oscar claims a 10-point lead in the championship, the biggest lead anyone has enjoyed this season as the first portion of the season wraps up.
How's the watching experience for you?
It's different this week.
The 3 a.m. wake-up call?
Yeah, watch it on my laptop in my bed. So extra tough to stay awake in that position, but luckily it was a decent race. So
I did think about watching it delayed. I did think maybe I'll do the smart thing. I'll get up at 5 a.m. and I'll watch it delayed and I'll avoid all social media.
Yeah.
But then I quickly realized if Oscar wins, which I was pretty confident he would.
Yeah.
I would like to see him take lead of the Drivers' Championship.
Yeah.
So
See,
I was like,
a real fanboy.
that's losing. That's worth losing sleep over.
Yeah.
The amount of races I watched and lost sleep over for Ricardo, that amounted to nothing. I wasn't going to miss this race.
Well, when Brundle, one of them said, this will be one of the quickest Grand Prix in the calendar, you know, with no safety cars, can be an hour and 17 minutes. I was like, yes, please.
I didn't realize that. It was so quick. So,
but I did, text you through in the day and got your thoughts on how you plan on attacking the race, and you were unsure. So I was surprised when I woke up at 2:50 and you already texted me some.
I actually woke up at 2:30, so I could watch half an hour of the pre-race. So
I woke up with just enough time to. I'd already had my laptop in the room.
I know.
To drag laptop over, flip it up, log into KO, bang, right at the start of the outlap. So
3 a.m. is nasty business. So
yeah.
Can you hear me now? But I can hear you, no? You still don't hear me? But you answer still.
Okay, patch notes from the week that was in Formula One. The first one. Rumours have emerged that Aston Martin have offered Verstappen $300 million to join their team. Max has so far denied these rumours as he can't take Aston Martin seriously until they fire the Nepo baby and his expensive babysitter.
Yeah, I think I need to sell the team.
Sounds like they might actually be. Sounds like Saudis are interested in acquiring that team. So
that's the only way they'll afford $300 million.
And then if they did, surely Stroll's out at that point. But if you're literally trying to entice one of Formula One's greatest ever drivers into your team, how can he take you seriously with that bullshit going on?
Yeah.
So
no, I don't think Alonso would be too happy with you calling him his babysitter.
Well, that's what he is.
Or maybe he's not doing a good enough job of it.
Yeah. Well, that's just how I see it.
Yeah.
I call it how I see it.
Yep.
Second patch note.
Nepo baby's right there.
Yeah, they're all pretty much.
No, he's gold class.
He's the number one Nepo baby, isn't he?
Yeah.
George Russell will sign a new 2-year deal with Mercedes after realizing they don't have fuck-off Stroll money to get Max, and instead are happy to keep George on.
Yeah,
Is that a win? I mean, he's probably the best bang for
win.
buck driver right
A
now,
win for
isn't he?
who? Win for him or win for Mercedes?
Either.
Well, yeah, he's no Antonelli.
No, he's got to watch out for that kid.
I reckon they'd want to lock him down for a few more years rather than 2. But
Well, if they,
two's risky business. I mean, if Max is on the outwards at the end of this year or next year, 2 years.
you'd have to say Russell's on the chopping block, right?
Yeah,
Because
that's what I mean. Signing him for
they've
2
been
years.
developing Antonelli all this time,
Oh,
and
he's-
kid's looking hot. He's looking
these
shit
days,
hot.
Yeah,
So 3 drivers into 2 cars
Mm.
doesn't work.
I
So.
wouldn't lock him down just yet.
All right, third patch note I have for you. Your guy, your favorite, Helmut Marko, wants Sebastian Vettel to be his ideal successor. But Seb is uninterested as he's no longer in his villain arc and can't meet Marco's high racist standards.
Racist.
Yeah. Especially while he's in his Zen era.
Yeah, okay.
You know, he's in a bit of a hippie phase right now.
Yeah.
So that old vicious Seb that we spent many
true.
years,
The ruthless Seb.
the ruthless Seb, looks like he's died.
Yeah.
So I don't think he could fill Helmut Marko's shoes in that position.
No, probably not. Plus, both of his eyes point in the same direction.
Yeah.
So
For real though, he probably would be a really good driver developing manager to have.
talent scout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting if he does. I mean, I think Red Bull need to let go of Marko. He's hurting the team more than he's
It'd
helping.
be interesting if they change him, if Seb did come in, whether this beast that they've created, like everyone knows how it goes there, whether that would calm down a little bit. You know, if we'd see a change
Surely,
in their regime on how they treat their drivers and how they treat
It
all
almost
4 as one.
feels like that whole Red Bull stable needs a bit of cleanup, bit of a tidy up, bit of a rebranding, a restructure.
They need to go back to what they had with the Toro Rosso, where it was 2 drivers, 2 years. If you're not suited, bugger off.
Yeah, none of this. Just stay on until the seat opens, or
They've
you
just
figure
let him
it
stay.
out.
Like they've got such a big, vast junior category, thing happening.
Yeah.
To bring in the fresh blood and allow them to cycle through.
Do you think Seb could be, up his racial?
He probably could. I mean, who knows behind closed doors? I'm sure he's
Alright.
as rampant as anyone.
That's enough of that. Time for the walkthrough. Grand Prix walkthrough.
I pressed it. The pit confirm button is the OK button, Brad.
Lot to break down in this race. Beauty of a race.
Yeah, pretty good.
So, the first thing that happened, the turn one pass.
Legitimate, great pass. Yeah.
Yep. Is that your stance on it?
Oh yeah,
Is that how you see it?
it is.
Red Bull certainly don't see it that way.
No, they took pictures up to the FIA, I believe.
Piastri, Piastri outmaxed Max, and Max didn't like that very much, I don't think.
But it's just funny. It's like Brundle picked it. Oh, well, it takes the pass into turn 1. The outside driver just lets off and goes through and lets the stewards decide. Which again,
That's all he did, right?
yeah. And again, they need to put physical supplements in. We're going to say this every week until
Very easy way to fix this problem,
people
isn't
get
it?
over this.
Imagine if
because
that was grass or gravel in that
Yep.
little cutout zone there.
all Max had to do, slow down more, and you tuck him behind. It's unfortunate,
Yeah.
but you got outraced.
Yeah.
Piastri,
Well-
before the corner, he got such a good start.
Brilliant start.
And the offset grids are quite...
on the dirty side too.
Well, the advantage they had is the offset grids are like half a car, not a full car. Like the staggered grid, because it's so congested.
I did wonder that because I was like, how did he get such a run on him
Yeah.
on such a short straight that he basically won the corner?
Yeah.
But
And they held,
it's a
they
short
held
straight.
them for no time at all. It caught me by surprise as a spectator. I was
Yeah.
like, whoa.
Yeah.
They just
The
red light go.
one of the shortest races on the calendar gets one of the shortest
They were
starts.
keen to get it underway.
Yeah.
And he,
So,
just was ready.
In
He was
terms of
ready.
the penalty, was that an appropriate penalty? Was it weak? Was it harsh?
I don't know why.
I think the penalty is definitely deserved. 100%.
He deserved. He needed to. Yeah, I mean, he gained the position off track, or he allowed himself to go off track to maintain position. So like, he definitely need to get penalised. I just don't know what happened to the old redress. Just switch the positions on track. I don't know why.
Clearly
they went
he
away
wasn't.
From that.
I mean, it's Max, right? Clearly he wasn't prepared to give anything.
No, but the FIA, instead of the 5-second penalty, because it could have gone either way, right? It could have been dramatically bad for him. If Russell was able to keep up and a couple other cars, he could have dropped to 3rd or 4th, which would have been like huge. But we know Formula One, like the cars spread out quite easily.
Yeah.
Of course, he only drops to one spot, but they gave him an opportunity to effectively, if he could have put his head down, which he almost did, and he got to like 3.5 seconds.
Well, yeah, but I mean, that's the thing, right? I think the penalty was complete and total bullshit.
Mm.
I mean, he had no intention of making the corner. He just
No,
got off the brake, coasted
exactly.
through, took the advantage.
Exactly.
Then he stays in the clean air.
Yep.
Oscar now is completely disadvantaged because he's got to stick in Verstappen's
Yeah.
dirty air. His tyres are going off, which we saw the drop off right before the pit stops happened.
I was happy to see that Haas coming for the pit to draw. They would drew the rest of the field in.
Yeah, well, I was thinking that's going to bring his pit stop up like earlier.
Yeah.
So not only does he, get the advantage of track position, but then the penalty didn't really seem to suit the crime because he essentially got to lead the Grand Prix
Mm.
and look after his tyres and have a legitimate shot at still winning the race from an unfair overtake.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
there's a reason
it should have
that-
been a swap over immediately.
Yeah.
Because then from right then, Piastri's leading the Grand Prix from lap 3 or whatever it was, not lap 30.
There's a reason up until this race, the Pulsar has won every race this season because
Clearly,
clear air, keeping your tyres underneath you
these
has been
cars
key.
don't like to run in dirty
No.
air, do they?
I mean, this is not the first race this year. There's been a few now where they've year on year they've made the tyres a step softer.
Mhm.
I think it's great. I think that's what's creating. We've had a few duds, but that's what's creating the season having pretty good racing. Is
Yeah.
The tyres are fading, but that just
Well,
it just puts more
Yes, no.
importance on
It's been a
clean
bit
air.
50-50, isn't it? Some races have been no tyre deg.
That's the fresh surface, I
Mm.
think. But so that's the thing. Putting the putting this, like there's been a few races, but putting the tyres a step softer just creates more graining. But then you need that fresh air becomes double as important.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
they should have just switched them. I don't know why they went for the 5 second.
No,
penalty, so-
again, I think that Red Bull came off better in that circumstance, and that
Mm.
probably even helped them get second place.
Yeah.
To be fair, so
I mean,
their hoopla after the Grand Prix and all their bullshit is just, to me, I think is a bit silly because Max has always been pretty much the driver on the other side,
Effectively. Yeah.
and he got outmaxed.
That's the thing.
And-
It's the only way I can see it. The only way is that it was fair. Not only he didn't just like outbrake him, he was alongside him already. He had the move well underway before the braking zone.
Well, you can see going into the corner, the McLaren's ahead.
Yeah, but like I
Just
guess
because
the
you come off the
only
brake and
yeah
have no intention of making the corner doesn't mean you are ahead on the apex.
the best comparison I can see is that Abu Dhabi 21 where Max does the dive bomb on Lewis, stays on track. Lewis chooses to go off. The only difference is Max dive bombed him. He wasn't alongside before the braking zone. He
No,
did
he
a great
came from
move. I
behind,
still
didn't he?
think that should have been a good move, not a no further action move. But
Yeah.
that's the only real comparison is what's the difference? Max was under control. Max stayed on track. In this
Yeah.
case, Oscar was under control. Oscar stayed on track.
Yeah.
The only difference is, he well and truly had track position going into the corner.
Yeah.
Again, gravel trap, dirt, whatever you want on the off track.
Solves the problem, doesn't it?
Max, what are you going to do? Run off, buddy? Or are you going to...
There's a very easy fix there.
Yeah.
All right. So after that, Tsunoda and Gasly crash, ending their Grand Prix, keeping up Jeddah's record of 100% safety car appearances.
yeah.
So
Didn't take long, did it?
yeah, that's pretty nuts. I mean, that was the only safety car. I was probably surprised that was the only safety car. But
Yeah. I mean, the walls are close around there.
I probably feel a bit more sorry for Gasly in that one. Like, it was definitely a racing incident, but
Yeah,
Gasly
50-50.
qualified really well
He did.
in the Alpine. He
He
was
should-
looking for some more points for the team, and then
You should learn when to know when to hold him, know when to fold him. He
Yeah.
went pretty deep to get around the outside there. On cold tyres, Yuki's gonna understeer it
Mm.
across that way of the track. Like
Yeah.
which is why it's a racing incident. It's all cold tyre stuff. But
It was such a slight bump on the wall for Yuki too, but obviously just
Oh,
enough to ruin the diffuser or something.
Formula One
so-
cars are so brittle. He probably
Fragile,
just bent the rear wheel in, and they're like, "Well, what are we gonna do?" Like,
Yeah.
it's gonna just grain tyres. There might not have been any real damage, but the fact is that amount of damage, you're not
Well,
gonna recover. You're just
No
gonna be
point
burning
running in
tyres.
20th for 50 laps, and
You're not gonna learn anything because the car's not up to tickety boo. Like,
fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Lando gets outsmarted by Hamilton twice.
Yep.
Maybe even costing him a podium.
hmm.
So that came sort of after. That was probably around just before pit stops.
Yeah.
Took him
Does-
3 laps to pass Hamilton.
It's just high IQ on Lewis's behalf. And just
Yes.
the second one was just pure stupidity from Lando's.
I was going to say, like, he should have learnt that second one, right? It shouldn't have taken him to the third lap to then get the move done.
And his
So-
engineer to tell him, play the game.
Play the game, yeah. Do you think that goes into, I don't know, Lando's mindset of lack of confidence and maybe just folding a little bit under pressure?
I think it plays into his lack of racecraft.
Yeah.
Which is
We're starting to
which
see...
goes into the mistakes.
Well, you'll see drivers make mistakes every night. No one's perfect. I'm fully aware that there's going to be a race that Oscar's going to put it in the wall at some
Well,
stage.
Melbourne, he's done it.
Yeah.
Not in the wall, but he made a pretty big error.
Yeah.
He's done it. He's had one already this year.
But when you seem to start to make consistent mistakes, then they don't look like cracks. Now they look like genuine weaknesses in your driving. And I'm starting to wonder if Lando isn't actually the championship title contender that the media built him up to be last year and coming into this year.
No.
So
No, when we said last year, I thought, because it's pretty common, a driver has to lose a world championship to win, one.
Sure.
You know, they have to have that defeat. You learn from it.
Technically 19 drivers lost it last year though.
Yeah, and I don't think Lando, again, we've spoken about it, but I don't think he was ever in a genuine championship winning position.
No.
But I thought he might have still learnt enough lessons last year to come into this year ready. But it's shown he's not. I mean, that mistake in quality, he hit the curb, but we saw Oscar hit the curb on his first lap too, pretty viciously. Lando overcorrected and sent himself into the wall.
Yeah.
You know, not good.
Well, we saw Piastri bounce back after having, I guess you could say, a poor Japanese Grand Prix. You know, he's still got third, but like everyone probably felt he could have potentially won that one if he did qualify a little bit better. So I think we were all sort of expecting Lando to strike back this race. And through practice, he looked like he had pace and it looked like he had confidence. And it looked like
championship contenders.
Yeah, it looked like, all right, there might be game on here.
Yep.
But that mistake, when I was watching qualifying and that went to yellows, I wasn't expecting to see Lando on the wall.
No,
So,
I didn't even notice it was McLaren at first. It was only the commentators like, it's Lando.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, is it? Make sure. Yep. Oh, yep.
Yeah.
Sweet. Happy days. Like, I genuinely think Oscar is the favourite early to win the whole thing.
Mhm.
But I think he could do it.
obviously.
Yeah, I mean, he's got the championship lead. It's not a great big take, right?
Yeah.
But clearly, I think he could do it without the Lando fuck-ups. I think he could genuinely, with his own race pace and skill level racecraft IQ, I think he could do it with the best of Lando.
Oh, yeah.
But Lando is doing his best to just give it away early, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not necessarily,
Yeah.
it was cool to see him in the wall because it's just a nice leg up.
Yeah.
But if he doesn't do that, if he qualifies third, second, I still don't think he's actually quicker or better than Oscar this year.
Well, that's probably even the other point is like Lando making mistakes and it's, fucking up his championship. The only real reason we're cheering for him, maybe it's partially because of Lando and it's just funny, but the bigger part of it is we want to see Oscar become the next World Drivers' Championship. So every mistake that Lando makes just puts Piastri a step closer to becoming the next world champion.
Yep.
So the Lando hatred is coming more from the Piastri love.
Hey, speak for himself. He's my driver. I've got my own notes on the guy. I've never loved him, but he's just proved. I just don't think he's got what it takes to become a world champion.
No. Okay, so after that, we had so after the pit stops, Oscar overtakes Hamilton decisively on lap 21.
That was scary.
That was ballsy.
That was scary. Camera pans to the left, and there's just dust, and you're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I hope this is not going to end with him."
Yeah.
With the image of him in the wall here, that was.
But-
And Max didn't do the same move, laps later.
Max didn't laps later, and Lando took 3 laps to pass Hamilton. Oscar was not wasting any time. The first opportunity he saw to get past that Ferrari, he took,
That's
and he
scary.
executed.
That's a DRS open, a
Yeah.
long sweeping bend, like
Yeah, on the
filthy, disgusting side of the track.
with all the rubber as
Yeah.
well, the rubber balls. So that I mean,
It's scary.
it's funny to think 2 of the best passes that we've seen this season have been Oscar on Hamilton.
Lewis, yeah,
So
that was genuinely scary stuff.
I loved it.
It was great.
Yeah.
That was fantastic.
So after that, Alonso refuses to quit F1. So Bortoletto tries to give him a heart attack
Yeah,
by almost putting him in the wall.
that was peak excitement. I made a noise.
But a little squeak,
Yeah,
little
I was like,
squeal.
oh,
Yeah. How did how did Alonso keep it out of the wall? I'll give him props for that.
20 years
That
experience.
was-
That's how.
I
don't
mean, even in his old age, he can still react pretty quick.
know. I mean, there would have been millimeters. He gave himself all he had, and he
Yeah.
and he got away with
That
it.
was a pucker up
The
moment.
best thing is he let him through.
Yeah.
He must have been like, oh, I don't want to pass him illegally, even though he just pushed me into the fence. I don't think FIA would have given two shits.
Yeah, I thought that was a bit bizarre too.
I thought he let him through because that's when Brundle said, oh, he's his manager. And I
Yeah.
was like, oh, I didn't know that.
I didn't know that
So I was
either.
like, okay, he's just letting him through. He's nice guy.
Yeah.
But then he passes him 2 laps later. And I was like, oh, so
Yeah.
why did he let him through? He must have been afraid of.
Probably the only
Passing him off
driver he
track.
could have gotten away with doing a bit of bonehead move like that
Oh,
on.
man.
So that was scary stuff. That
I
was
just- I
that
wish
was that should have been our second safety car
Yeah.
moment.
Part of me wishes that was a pinball effect. But
Yeah.
we didn't need a safety car on this one for Oscar's benefit.
No. So after that event, Lando makes a sloppy pit stop.
Yeah, terrible on the way in, investigated on the way out.
Looked very close too, didn't it? It almost looked like they gave him a bit of leeway there. Like
But again,
he might
it's-
adjust.
Even though we got away with it, it's still just something you don't need in your race.
No.
You don't need to be investigated by the FIA for
No.
something
They're
as
just
silly.
extra distractions, aren't they?
Yep.
Whether you knew he was being investigated or not, I don't know. But even the lockup coming in, it's kind of like, why? Why was that needed? Why just create another element of risk there? You know,
I mean, again, that's okay. Like a lot of the drivers, they'll
Is it-
do it. It's a set of
you're
tires to
asking for
burn.
trouble, I think.
You maximize. Well, they don't purposely lock up, but you're maximizing your braking, knowing you also don't need the tire set.
Mm.
But I don't think he meant to do it that hard. I mean,
Yeah.
he was turning and he was going straight, so I
Mm.
don't think he meant to quite push the envelope that far.
Yeah.
So I think it was a bit of a mistake. But on the way out, like rule number one, you ask anyone, you know, you don't cross the blend lines on the way in or the way out. They're solid. Hey, we've all driven a race, driven a road car.
He was definitely testing it.
You don't cross the solid lines.
No,
and
no.
he,
Everyone knows that's an instant penalty.
yeah. I thought for sure, I was like, slam dunk, right?
Except
If they're
for,
investigating
Except
him.
if your name is Carlos Sainz in Las Vegas. Remember last year when he got the late
Oh, yeah.
late call,
To
a rate
bail.
pit abort? Yeah,
It might
came
be
in
something
and-
weird where you can't cross to get in,
Yeah.
but you can cross to get out.
yeah.
Don't know.
We have to look into that. Look into that for me.
Regardless.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, look into it.
So it took until lap 35 for Piastri to take the lead of the Grand Prix, which is funny to say because it essentially felt like he had the lead of the
Mm.
Grand Prix at
Lights to flag run.
yeah, well essentially. So it feels kind of odd,
Yeah.
that he only had 15 laps in the lead.
Yeah.
So maybe a little bit ripped off there.
No,
but
we only
still,
got to lead one.
after that, Leclerc hunts down Russell to give Ferrari their first Grand Prix podium.
Yeah.
So I think good on Charles for that.
Hmm.
Russell looked a bit pedestrian out there.
Yeah.
I feel a little bit for Charles. You know, he's clearly a driver that has talent, and he's motivated, and he wants to win. He's just not going to do it in that Ferrari, I don't think. So
It's pretty amazing. It still astonishes me when we see Ferrari put up a good strat.
yeah,
I mean, straight away, I
It's
was like, oh,
they're
man.
few
like,
and far between.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, don't you want like a lot of time? Like, you want to minimize your medium tire run and maximum. But they went long on the mediums and almost as long as Lando and as hards.
Maybe the safety car helped out a little bit, having 3
Yeah.
slowish laps at the start, so
Right.
you could pull that down from 25 to 21, 22. So
Never fails to amaze me how much difference it makes with a big tire offset in Formula One.
oh yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Even though he was on the hard tire, the slower of the tires you get, and he still just had lightning pace at the end there to get
Didn't
that P3.
Lawson gets a 10-second penalty for leaving the track and gaining an advantage. So why does he get 10 seconds? It was basically at the same corner, same sort of thing, where he made a pass, he went off, and then kept the position. So they gave him a 10-second penalty. So I'm a bit confused as to why he gets 10 seconds and why Max gets 5 seconds.
Maybe it's like the FIA hate Michael Massey and he's Australian, and everyone kind of thinks of Lawson as an honorary Australian. So they're just like, you know what, fuck Australians.
But it gets a little bit extra.
Yeah,
It's a little bit
gets a
extra
bit of a
hate.
sting, but gets a bit of an Australian tax.
Yeah. Has he had a penalty every Grand Prix?
He's
I haven't been
definitely
tracking it, but
see, like, I don't know about Japan, to be honest. Like, to be honest, I don't know. But
Yeah.
he definitely got one in China.
yeah,
He obviously got 2 last week.
he's just racking them up.
Yeah, he's got more. He's got well and truly more penalties and points finishes.
Yeah.
So that's an easy one.
So after that, Stroll thinks he's driving a Sauber, and Piastri radios in that he needs to get the fuck out of the way. So I think Stroll You know, after his comments, was trying his hardest to make it look like he was in a Sauber and you know, blocking.
I mean, he was on brand new tyres and he still couldn't get away from Oscar.
And then to end the Grand Prix, Oscar takes the checkered flag and becomes the first Aussie to lead the championship in 15 long years.
It's pretty remarkable.
Yeah.
And lead it by 10 points. That's more. He can finish second next week. Lando can win. He retains the lead. That's how much of a lead he's got.
If he keeps winning like this, his paycheck is only going to get bigger and bigger. And on that, I have a quick top 5 for you.
Oh, okay.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running.
Top 5 highest paid Aussie athletes. Have you ever looked into this list before?
I haven't. But I got a feeling we're in for a riveting experience.
Well, you get the worldwide ones, and there's always the usual suspects like Ronaldo and LeBron.
Top 5, top 10.
Yep.
It's interesting. This is going to be a top 5 based on fact, not feelings. This is good.
Fact, as far as what I could find on the internet.
Oh, I'm
So,
sure your Wikipedia search was 100% accurate.
yeah, help with Chat GPT, and
Yeah,
you
oh,
know, I
that's
used
always
all resources I had
Yeah.
available to me.
We've seen them make no mistakes.
This is what investigative journalism looks like right here.
Ah, okay. Yeah. I'm just along for the ride.
Number 5, Travis Bazzana. Now, he's a Major League Baseball second baseman for the Cleveland Guardians. He gets paid 14 mil.
Is that it?
I could use with a couple of mil.
Oh, so
myself.
could I, but I've heard the baseball contracts are pretty damn lucrative.
The baseball.
Baseball.
Yeah.
I heard they're pretty...
You don't think 14 million is good?
Oh, 14 million is probably pretty good, but I wouldn't be surprised if that's the league minimum.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. I haven't heard
Hey.
of this dude, and he's on
No.
the list.
You're right. You're
So,
right. Okay.
Number 4, Jason Day. Plays golf. Gets paid 18 mil.
Pretty cool.
Now,
Is that Saudi golf league they got going on?
who the fuck knows?
Okay.
Golf is the last sport that I'm paying attention to.
I've just heard a lot about this the Arab golfing tournament.
I'm sure there's a lot of Jason Day fans out there. And hey, when you got nothing better to do, throw on the golf. Who am I to judge?
There's probably a lot of Jason Days.
Won't catch me watching that shit.
Pretty mid name.
Yeah,
Jason Day.
a little bit. Number 3, Josh Green.
Oh.
NBA shooting guard.
Still with the Mavericks, is he?
Got traded to the Charlotte Hornets.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, bummer.
He gets paid 20 million.
Cool.
So I actually thought that Dyson Daniels had potential to be on this list, or Giddy.
He was a throwaway. I thought Giddy might have been, yeah.
Yeah,
But Daniels was a throwaway.
Giddy was just under 14 mil, so he just didn't quite
you know
make the
what?
cut.
Ben Simmons, I'm surprised he must, what did he just contract expired, I wonder.
We'll
'Cause he
see.
was collecting dust bunnies.
Yep.
Yeah.
Number 2, Jordan Mailata. Offensive tackle in the NFL for the Philadelphia Eagles, who just won the Super Bowl.
Awesome.
He gets paid 33 mil.
Yeah, right.
So,
Pretty good.
the
That probably doesn't
NFL
include his bonus for winning the...
yeah, the NFL's always balling.
Yeah,
So, he's up there.
Not short of a penny.
Number 1, according to my research, Oscar Piastri,
Wow.
36 mil.
Yeah.
Or
AUD.
AUD, these AUD.
Mm.
So I assume that he's got bonuses in his contract as well.
Mhm.
So that's only going to balloon more.
Yep.
Now, you mentioned Ben Simmons, so special shout out to Ben Simmons. He was the former number 1.
Yeah.
60 mil
Mhm.
per season. He now gets 1 million.
Yeah, that minimum. It's rough.
That is a steep drop off.
Yeah. I mean, if you work it out per games played, he'd absolutely be destroying everybody and anybody else.
Maybe not Joel Embiid.
True.
He's
true.
probably got his ticket.
You got me there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he would be a close second, I reckon.
You got me there.
Fantastic drive, not bad for a number 2 driver. Cheers.
Let's rank the drivers
Let's do
based
it.
on their performance in the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix.
Yep.
Noob rank. This week I have Stroll.
Cool.
that might be 3 weeks in a row.
He's getting comfy down there.
Yeah, he is. Yeah,
He's getting real comfy.
he's going to need some serious luck to get off there too. So
He's in
now,
the doghouse.
I actually have 2 records I can track Stroll on now.
Alright.
So, did he get a fastest lap this race?
Nope.
No, went to Orlando.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's 171 starts without a fastest lap.
Yep.
However, the second record that I get to track him on now is Most Q1 eliminations in F1 history. So,
Never
he racks up
maybe.
his 75th elimination.
75th elimination. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So what? Yeah. Okay. So,
So-
100 times. Hey, 100 times he's gotten out, roughly.
Yeah, you could look at it that way. I choose to look at it as like, he's not the worst driver to ever race in F1. There's definitely worse drivers, but geez, he's not far from the bottom.
Imagine
He's-
how.
He does not deserve to be on that grid, and I know he's his dad's team, so he gets an automatic seat. But
Well, that's the thing, right? He says about the McLaren drivers, put the McLaren drivers in a Sauber for 10 years and see how many they rack up.
yeah,
Brother, if they're in a Sauber for 10 years, they are not in the fucking sport anymore.
Yeah,
Like, it's
yeah.
that simple.
yeah, he would not be
Like,
there, right?
if you're ranking up this many Q1 appearances or dropouts,
Eliminations,
yeah,
yeah.
you're lucky to be in this damn sport for this long.
Yeah,
The only way you're in it is if you own the team or your dad does.
you got that daddy money.
You're,
Yeah.
That's the only reason. Like, I'm not going to put you on the spot because I bet you didn't. But whoever he took that mantle from,
Mhm.
I wouldn't be surprised if they also had some Sergio Perez kind of money coming in.
Most likely, yeah. To rack up a record that long without any success,
Yeah.
probably means that you have connections or
Yeah.
you're being.
His two records are both I'm so shit and I'm also so shit.
Yeah.
In qualifying and the race.
Yeah. He doesn't deserve a
So-
seat. Get him out.
Yeah. Get him in.
Get him up. Get him out.
Yeah.
Who do you got?
My noob is Gabriel Bortoletto. Finished last again. So I was qualified. And he was 4/10ths behind 19th. He was 4/10ths off the second slowest car in quality.
Yeah, wow. Wow.
Like, I know
Yeah.
he's in the slowest
Don't
car.
they have like a threshold of the minimum
Yeah, 110%
from pole?
From pole, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Like, it's pretty big, but
I would have to do the calculations.
I think
wonder-
we're long past the years of that actually being a thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's still a thing, but like, it actually happening.
Maybe they should
cars are
tighten that
so,
up a bit more.
Yeah.
I mean, we know at the end of the regulation, so naturally the field should be a bit more
It's pretty
compressed, but-
mature, other regs at this point.
Okay, so my rookie of the week is Esteban Ocon. Not much to say here. Finished behind Behrman. That's not great for him, I don't think, personally. And he's 100 seconds off the lead car.
In a race with the safety car, mind you.
In a 50-lap race, that means 2 seconds a lap, you're dropping.
2 seconds a lap. And like 50% of the track straight.
Yeah.
Full throttle.
Yeah.
It
I
was
mean,
probably
they
in
say,
a DRS train, so it's probably pretty quick down the straights too.
well, what do they say? 23
That's crazy.
corners.
Yeah.
But most of the corners, you're just doing
Yeah,
this.
a flat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, scary track, but
Oh, yeah, I
heck of a lot
wouldn't-
of straight.
yeah.
All right, my rookie, Liam Lawson. He out qualified his teammate. Fantastic, awesome.
That's actually a surprise.
It is a surprise. but
Probably
he
because there
finished-
was lots of straights.
He finished last of the Red Bull cars. Sorry, that finished.
Right, yeah.
So, didn't
Yeah.
get a point. His teammate got a point. Oh yeah, and he got a 10-second penalty.
Yep. Add that one to
Yeah.
his collection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just awful stuff, Liam.
Right.
But hey, you keep trying.
Dang.
You push for that. You push for that 12th race this season.
My bronze rank goes to Pierre Gasly. He had a strong qualifying before trading with his ex-Red Bull stablemate. So a bit unlucky. I think
I think it's more his fault. I think it should have been more. Just be more careful. Just protect yourself on lap one.
maybe.
Might
I
have been
don't know.
deemed a racing incident, but
You watch both on
gotta
board,
know.
and it's kind of like where's either car supposed to go? One of them's probably got to back out.
But he's put himself there.
Yeah.
So like he's put himself into a position where that was probably always going to happen.
Mm.
Like either go wider and potentially give up that space anyway.
I would have liked him more if he collected Norris right behind them.
Oh man,
But
that's the thing.
somehow he
is
escaped that one.
his fantastic run through the field was aided by two cars on lap one taking each other out.
Yeah.
And Yuki probably would have put up something of a fight. Maybe
Oh, yeah.
Pierre, not so much. but
Especially in a Red Bull too.
yeah, that's what I mean. So
Yeah.
don't have too much sympathy for
No.
boy.
So Alpine once again pointless.
Bummer.
Mm.
Bummer, dude. All right, speaking of Alpine, my bronze, Jack Doohan of Renault. Apologies. No race pace. Poor strategy, pitting on that safety car. I'm pretty sure it didn't come out again.
Yep.
Oh, coming again for more tyres. So,
Yeah, a bit of a nothing race for him, isn't it?
like, the car's slow, and the team don't seem to run good strats to
Help him out in any kind
aid
of way.
their race pace.
Yeah.
So he's just a stone. Good rate, but hey, good racecraft. Like honestly, that run, like it's just getting overtaken like no tomorrow.
Mm.
That turn one sequence, but he's putting up a fight. He was trying some around the outside moves, trying to make it. He was making it hard for the cars passing him.
Look, as far as rookie seasons go, he's having a tough one.
Could be wrong, Gabe.
Could be worse. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Silver rank for this week goes to Nico Hulkenberg. 15th in the Sauber and ahead of Lance Stroll, who wishes he was driving a Sauber.
The Saubers were fast, in a straight line.
Yeah.
The quickest cars
They
in a
got
straight line.
they got that right. So good on them.
Yep,
Fifth-
they can do something.
a solid 15th. Still no points, but
No, not even close.
not even close. But hey, they finished the race.
Cool,
Bravo.
cool. My silver rank is Yuki Tsunoda. He DNF'd on lap 1. Made Q3. He was 9/10 off Max though in quali.
Yeah, it's a big
That's a
margin.
big margin between
Yeah.
teammates. Yeah, I believe he was taken out on lap 1.
Fair enough.
So I do have him placed above Liam Lawson, who finished the race.
That's probably a little kind
Yeah,
of you just to Yuki. He needs all the support he can get right now, to be honest. So
Yeah.
Gold rank. Alex Albon collects another 2 points, keeping Williams best outside of the big four.
yeah.
Good on him.
Pretty impressive.
Again, they don't have like a massive gap. It could all fall apart any week.
Yeah.
They just one week where they score no points and Alpine get their shit together.
Yeah.
They'll drop out of that 5th spot. But I love to see it. You got the big four manufacturers who are still going hard at the top.
Yeah.
And they're best of the rest right now.
It's probably where they should be when you look at the field.
I think they have a good driver pairing. And
Clearly.
they're getting consistent points, well, especially Alex.
Yeah.
So hopefully that consistency continues throughout the season because there is still a long way to go. So anything can happen.
19 more races to go.
And probably 13, 14 of those are going to be at stupid o'clock. So
Yeah, hey, sign me up.
Strap in,
We know what we
strap
signed
in.
in for.
Yeah.
Sign up
get
for.
those no-dos ready.
No days. Oh, yeah. All right, I have to go back to bed afterwards. So that's good. All right, my gold rank. 1 Lando Norris.
Ooh,
Yeah.
ouch.
What am I supposed to?
Man, you really don't like this guy, huh?
What am I supposed to? He's got the quickest McLaren. Don't ask him though. But he's
Yeah.
got the quickest car out there. Crashed in Q3.
Yeah.
Didn't even set a lap time either.
Yeah.
So it's not even like he got that banker in.
No,
Crash.
it was on the banker.
Crashes straight away. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's 10th. Luckily, early in the season, there's not a whole. Oh, not unlucky, I guess. Like he didn't break the gearbox, which is my first thought. I was like, cool.
Could have been worse, yeah.
If he's pounded that gearbox,
That's one way to look at it.
that affects him more later in the year. But
Yeah.
it's not good. Two free spots on the opening lap, and then the pit stop. Sloppy on the way in, sloppy on the way out. Got investigated, and out IQ'd by Sir Lulu.
It was. In the post-race, they asked Piastri.
Did you
Yeah.
stay up for the post race,
I watch everything.
brother?
I'm committed.
Oh, man.
I am committed.
It was like 4:30. I was going to bed.
Yeah. So in the post-race, they asked Piastri if he felt like Red Bull actually had a fast car and that maybe McLaren... They mentioned that Norris had said he didn't feel that McLaren actually did have the fastest car and Red Bull might actually be the fastest car. And they put that question to Piastri, do you feel the same way? And Piastri was kind of holding back a bit of a smirk and then was like, I don't agree with that at all. I do think that we have the best car and...
But don't you think that's what McLaren want to hear as well? The mechanics, the engineers, the people who put this car together, they want their drivers out there saying,
So
my team have done a banging job. The car's quick.
that's one point. But the other point is you've got, again, Lando who's trying to manufacture these excuses for his performance.
Yeah.
Yes, he does own up, but he's still throwing a lot of shade everywhere else.
Yeah.
Whereas Piastri is just black and white. You know, there's no excuses. He hasn't had a perfect season. It's not a bit far off perfect, but he's made mistakes. But he's not, going into interviews going, Red Bull actually have a really good car here. The pressure is actually, bigger than what we thought. He's calling it how it is.
We've seen what it's like when Max has the best car.
Oh,
What point is
it's
Lando trying to prove here? Like, it's happened.
It's a record-breaking season, isn't it? Yeah.
Like, Max doesn't fuck around.
No.
If he's got the best car, he's putting that puppy to use.
Oh yeah.
Like, he's wringing this Red Bull's neck.
So I think again, all these things are pointing to where Norris's head is at. It's all well and good to be, self-responsible for your actions and own up to your mistakes and keep yourself honest in that sense.
I
But
understand you're
why are
underperforming
you
the car.
throwing all this other shade as well at
Yeah.
your team and at your car and
Yeah. Let's not forget, Oscar's in his third year.
third year? That's wild.
Third year.
Yeah.
Norris is in year 6, 7 maybe.
I think it's 6.
Something like that.
Yeah.
He's so double the experience.
Yeah.
They both have the same amount of race wins now. Like, the car come on tune at the same time for both of them, so
Yeah.
probably makes sense. But like, Oscar is running rings around that boy right now.
Oh yeah.
That's impressive. And
Yeah.
Lando's, it's just going to hurt his psyche more. You don't think he went home like, God damn it, man. he didn't even come on pole.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it was decided in the steward's room, but Oscar had to make that happen.
Oh yeah.
And he did the right thing.
Yeah.
Like Oscar is on one, and Lando, I reckon I wouldn't be surprised if we see more of a decline from him. You talk about can he bounce back? I don't think so. I think he's proved that
well,
he's now got a 10-point deficit.
Yeah.
After he led by
And
like
Verstappen's only 2 points behind him, I think.
something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
'cause
I mean,
he's 12
after
behind him.
Australia, discard Max, the gap to Oscar was like, 18 points, 21 points.
Well, hang on. You can't discard Max though, because
No, but
whilst-
I know that. But the gap, I'm talking about the McLaren, the two gaps in the McLaren.
Yeah.
It was 18 points, 20 points in Lando's favour.
yeah,
He's now 10 points behind.
yeah. So a 30-point swing.
4 races later.
Mm.
That is huge.
But on the whole discard Max thing, not only has he lost the championship lead to his teammate, he may now even drop second place in a car that isn't as good as the car he's in. So
That's the thing. If it is only 2 points for the top 8 positions in the race, that's 2 points at least between them.
yeah,
So next race, if Max just beats him
Yep.
in a points position spot,
Yeah.
bang.
it's gone. Anyway, that's enough of Norris.
Yeah.
Platinum for the week, I have Isaac Hadjar.
Good race.
What's you think?
Got a point.
You did. Once again, the second best Red Bull and another points finish.
Yeah.
I have to tell you though, I've never seen someone so nervous about possibly getting a promotion. That kid, he's got to be careful. Every time they ask him about, the Red Bull seat, he's like very cagey. Perfect word for it. So he's got to be careful, but he's doing all the right
I'm
things.
surprised Christian and Helmet haven't said to the media, stop. Just stop. You make
Yeah.
us look like assholes. Like,
Yeah.
you're right, but stop,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah.
Please. What are you doing to him?
Yeah.
All right.
Platinum.
My platinum is Oliver Behrman. Made Q2,
Yeah.
out-qualified his teammate, and given the benefit of team orders.
Yeah, I did notice that.
So,
Yeah.
5 races into his season, experienced driver, and the team have shown.
He's already getting the call.
I mean, it was stupid. It was 13th.
Well,
It was
they
30th.
didn't
Finished
make any
13th.
points, yeah.
Just jump up to 13th. Why not?
Yeah. It's pretty
But
redundant.
Regardless,
but
they
still, confidence booster, isn't it?
yeah, he had the pace to get that position switch.
Diamond rankings. George Russell. Qualified P3, but managed to finish off the podium. So a little bit of a dip in form for him again.
And 5th too.
5th, yeah.
Quite far.
Yep.
Quite far off.
Still a title contender, I feel, even if it is a very slim chance. So I was probably surprised that that's where he ended up. There was even a moment in qualifying where I was like, oh, George could be in for a sneaky pole here.
Yeah.
If he manages just to stitch the lap together well enough.
I mean, don't get me wrong, he's-
Verstappen, Pip, Piastri.
Yeah.
So
I think he's managed I think he's maximised the season to this point.
yeah,
But
probably right.
Oscar's really come into his own.
Yeah. I think I was
Max
probably more
is-
surprised that I saw the Ferrari overtake him and take that last podium spot.
But again,
So-
that was Strat. I think that was more Strat than
yeah,
like I think they ran a pretty standard strategy for Russell.
Yeah.
Pit him at this time and just run down on hard. It's nothing
Yeah.
nothing crazy. And at the end of the day, you just didn't have the pace on the tyres, and tyres died on him. So that'll happen.
who you've got?
My diamond is Fernando Alonso.
It's pretty high up for him.
Pretty much got him that high because of the Gabe incident.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Like he outqualified his teammate Stroll, so really he's not really.
That's hilarious that you have him over Norris.
Yeah, I've also got Oliver Behrman over Norris, who finished 13th. So
Big fan. Big
it's
fan.
about, hey, my list is about you better maximise what you've got.
Yeah.
And
That's
I'll,
fair.
I'll rank you based on how your race went, based
Yeah.
on the machinery you've got.
That's fair.
Because if Gabriel Bortoletto had a better car, he might not finish 18th, might finish like 16th, right?
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, he's coming last. So that's great. But I've got to put you exactly where I feel like you've been based on the what you've got. And
I mean, just real
Norris'
quick.
teammate won the race. So let's
Yeah.
not forget that.
Well, and I guess real quick on that, it sounds like McLaren had expectations of Norris making the podium.
Sound like it.
And he didn't.
And again, they gave him a decent
So-
strap.
They did, yeah. He had all the luck. He had the two DNFs straight away.
Yeah.
So it was definitely there for the taking. And I think they mentioned that Verstappen the year prior had come from like last to second. I can't remember the exact
Yeah,
position,
not sure, I
but
didn't hear that.
but he had pretty much made his way right through the grid and got a podium. So then you have that direct comparison as well, and you're like,
I mean, it's things like the taking 3 laps to pass Lewis.
Yeah.
And we saw how close he finished to Charles.
Yeah.
Taking 3 laps to pass Lewis slows you right down. You
Yeah.
know? Like,
Could have had it.
it's all a whole bunch of things that go into it. And yeah.
Yep.
I mean, Sky Sports, they were, again,
Ugh.
just glazing
Yeah.
him hard. Like,
Deep throating,
Yeah.
even. Yeah.
disgusting.
Yeah.
Just drilling.
Sick of it. All right. Diamond rankings. No, sorry. Master rankings. Max Verstappen.
Wow.
Mhm.
Okay.
Well, I guess it goes a little bit into where did you finish in terms of your machinery and where you started. Gets driver of the day despite losing a position. Explain that to me. How do you go from first to second and get driver of the day? That makes absolutely no sense to me. So that thing is still fucking broken.
That is proper broken.
But I'll give him bonus points for after the race. He spoke very highly of Oscar. Very highly.
Good.
In his racecraft and his mentality and how he's approaching it. And I think Verstappen is now recognizing Piastri as a...
He's a main threat.
Yeah. So,
He's not playing with little boys anymore. He's got Oscar to deal with.
yeah. So I give him points for that.
Cool. Interesting to have him ranked post-race out of the car stuff
Yeah.
in your driver rankings, but nonetheless, there he is. All right, my master is Sir Lewis Hamilton.
Mhm.
Still really struggling in that Ferrari, isn't he?
He hasn't come to grips with it, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he qualified 7th, finished 7th, made no inroads.
And behind 2 Mercedes,
Yeah.
the team he left.
And his teammate. And Sainz was behind him, wasn't he? Sainz out-qualified him.
He out-qualified him, which is 2 Grand Prix in a row as well.
Yeah.
So, I mean, surely it must be hard for him looking at the back of those Mercs.
He thought he was
Just
making a
thinking-
good career
Yeah.
progression move.
Yeah.
But mostly I've got him up that high purely because of that pass on Norris. Just showing his
Mhm.
his race IQ.
He's
To
still
do it-
wily.
To do it twice. And to even have the
Yeah.
the concept of, I'm going to do it again.
Yeah.
I'm really going to show this
Yeah.
kid something.
Yeah.
And he fell for it. He was in his cockpit laughing like,
Oh,
did
yeah.
it, you did it, you idiot.
Yeah.
Uh,
No, I commend him for that,
Yeah.
for sure.
and
Right.
I don't know if it's a countryman thing. He probably thought he was really doing him a favour. Like, hey, listen, I'll show you something.
Well, once upon a time, he had high praise of Lando once. You know, Lando is such a great driver. You know, a couple of years ago, can't remember what track it was, maybe Austria.
Don't know.
But now he's just making him look silly out
He
there.
really is losing it, isn't he, Lewis?
Yeah.
Takes like that.
Yeah. Okay, elite rank for the week goes to Charles Leclerc. So I've got him above Verstappen. But to be fair, Ferrari needed a win. And I'll give him this
No,
win,
I agree with you 100%.
even if it is a 3rd place.
Yeah, no, you're right.
I feel for Charles. I really do. Hopefully, this is maybe a sign of things to come for Ferrari. Maybe they're going to have a stronger appearance through Europe.
Well, I don't think many cars have done many upgrades yet. I know Red Bull brought upgrades to Suzuka.
McLaren apparently upgraded their spoiler or something.
I don't know. Well, maybe a mandatory
Yeah.
upgrade based on the flex, but I don't think as many teams have done like
No.
proper sporting upgrades. And now that we've got this next week and we're starting to kick off into the European stuff, I wouldn't be surprised. Hopefully that's what Ferrari are
Well-
looking forward to, is they've got upgrades waiting in the wings.
We
for
think
these
about
cars.
last year as well. So right now you've got a three-way battle for the championship. You've
Yeah.
kind of got George in the mix there hanging about. It's a bit of a shame that you don't have Charles in there, that there's potentially 5 drivers who are all viable championship contenders and multiple race winners. So
Yeah.
it'd be interesting to see if he can get in there.
I think
You know,
he
he
will. I think
snagged
as the
2 wins
season,
last year.
yeah, maybe. I think as the
So-
season progresses, I think we'll see more of like the last year. We had 7 drivers win races, and most of them are multiple winners or
Yeah.
whatever. I think we'll get some of that.
Yeah.
I think this phase, it's like such a hectic start to the year.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's the start of the year.
Yeah.
You don't know what you've got. It's a blank canvas. You just go, and then you've got Australia, which is so far from anywhere,
Well,
and then
yeah.
you go to bloody China, and then you go to the UAE rounds.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah,
a real
it's-
shambles, you know.
Yeah, not a
and-
lot of
and
consistency in the...
They've had a week off.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
So now we get another week off and into Europe. Yeah, hopefully Ferrari just. They're the second
No,
best
it's
car
not
last
into
year.
Europe. It's into Miami.
Oh, they got America,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's still a mile from everywhere.
So it's Miami, and then I think it's like Monaco or Monaco's thereabouts. So
Yeah, but
Yeah.
they're getting there.
Yeah.
But at least this week off, you think they'd bring something to America then? Like
Yeah.
round 6, you got to be starting this development.
Yeah.
All right, my elite, Kimi Antonelli. Gained a spot.
I'm surprised he's not your legend.
Yeah, well, he gained a spot in the race.
Yeah.
Which these days in Formula 1 is hard to do.
Yeah.
and he finished just one spot behind his teammates. So
Didn't they pit him twice as well?
I don't know.
Yeah.
taking
Okay.
too
Right, did you fall asleep during that part? Did you?
I was wide awake, but I was eyes on. I was just pretty much watching that gap
Yeah.
between Oscar and Max.
Yeah.
Pre and post.
Not
stop.
gonna lie, that was pretty much all I was watching
Yeah.
too.
Every
so-
time I'd see a big swing, like half a second, I'd be like, "Oh no, what's going
Yeah.
on?" Like expect them to switch to the action, and Oscar's had something happen. But
No, see, I don't feel like I used to feel like that with Ricardo,
well, it
but I
happened.
don't
Like,
feel like that with Piastri.
it's not
I
a
feel like
stress
he's
that it's
very-
his mistake, but
Yeah.
like we've never
Actually,
been.
when they did cut to him and it was with radio and he was like, "There's a red light." I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
"Oh
exactly.
no!" I started panicking, like, "Oh no, don't tell me the
Yeah.
car's failing."
Yeah.
And then when he said it was on a balcony or something, I
Yeah.
was like,
Yeah, whatever. That's
the
how.
fuck
That's
is
the
this?
zone he's in. He's just like, oh.
Yeah.
yeah. The I was thinking, I was like, we've never had. I don't know if like, it's been ages since we've definitely had a driver that's been this good that they've run back-to-back races, and again, they're in contention every weekend. I was like, you got Max. This domination he's had, man, it was exciting when he'd have a car issue,
"Yeah,
and it would just open the race
just
up for
shake
everyone
it up."
else.
Yeah,
I was like, imagine the Dutch fans. Did they care? Or were they like, that's right, get him on the next one? I'm not ready to absorb that from Oscar yet. I need him to win like a lot more
Yeah.
before I'm like, he'll get the next one. Because he probably will get the next one.
Well, he's
But
got
I want to see him win every damn race at this point.
he's got 5 GP wins, and what Verstappen has 50 odd.
Yeah, I don't know, a lot.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Like, it's going to happen. Like, car failures happen.
Yeah.
I'm just not ready for them to happen to Oscar yet.
Yeah. All right. So speaking of Oscar, he is my legend of the week. So
Shocker.
yeah, I think that might be 4 legend rankings for me this
Has to be
season.
at least 3.
yeah,
right?
it's hard not to give it to him, to be honest.
Oh, well, who are you going to give it to? It's
Yeah.
perfectly executed weekend, if you ask me.
All right. So a couple points. I'll rattle them off real quick. Number 1 equals Norris on career wins with 5. That's impressive.
Remarkable.
Yeah. Number 2 1v1s Max and lives to tell the tale. That's
It's
impressive.
rare. That's rare, is what that is.
Number 3 has a 10-point buffer in his bid for the Drivers' Championship. So not only does he have the lead, he's built himself up a little gap as well from his next rival. And number 4, longest active streak of point-scoring weekends.
Okay.
31 now.
Nice.
So
that getting out of the grass in Australia was crucial.
Yeah.
To that.
well, and again, that shows he doesn't give up. He's not making excuses. He's
Yeah.
consistent. Like he
That's
got
good. That
he got
goes back-
spun by Max last round last season.
Yeah.
You know, was pretty
Clawed
much
back.
yep. So
That's the thing. It goes back. That goes back 2 seasons, right? That point scoring run.
well,
so
yeah, it does. Yeah.
it shows his progress.
Yeah. So, Oscar, if you need a couch to sleep on, it would be an honor to let you take ours. Come on by.
Yep. I saw on Facebook he didn't get a couch. He had to sit on the
Podium.
helmet box,
Yeah.
the helmet stand thing
Yeah.
they got, and he was happy with that.
Yeah.
But, oh, good stuff.
Who's your legend?
Carlos Sainz Jr.
Oh,
finishes 8th,
I pay it.
orchestrated
Yeah.
a double points finish for Williams with more of that smart DRS usage we've seen from him in the past. I know Williams got on the radio and recommended he do that.
Yeah.
But you know they got that trick from him in the first place.
Well, that's his signature move, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Keep the guy behind just in DRS enough to save him from the car behind him.
Yeah.
And away they go and get 8th and 9th for
Yep.
for what must be about 5 points. or
Because when I first heard it, I thought I heard them asking him to swap with Albon, and I was like, oh, that's a shame. Like,
yeah,
for
I just
him.
heard a lot of aggression in his voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there was no chance of them getting any positions higher. They
No.
were too far down the road. So yeah,
Just work
little bit
together
of
and
team play got them the double
it was
points.
perfect. And they ended up finishing 3 seconds ahead of your boy anyway, Hadjar.
Yeah.
Like he just controlled it,
Yep.
let him get through, and that's for a team like that where they need every point they can get, like masterstroke.
Yep. Move of world champion, that one.
Let's talk about the achievements from the race weekend.
Mm-hmm.
My first trophy is the cheesing trophy. Earned by using a cheap or repetitive tactic to win.
Yep.
This one goes to Christian Horner for printing out screenshots to show the media why Max's penalty was unjust.
Yeah.
What a cheese ball.
Like they've got static cameras to verify all this stuff and on boards, but he thinks he's found some.
Jeez.
That
What a
just
joke.
reeks of Pat Bev running with the camera onto the court to show why it was a.
I reckon it's partially protecting Max for his shit start. You know, like he got jumped by Piastri,
Yeah.
who was on the dirty side of the track and had the lead before the turn in.
Yeah.
So kind of clowned Verstappen a little bit, and maybe this is just Horner trying to take the attention away from that or something.
I mean, I haven't seen
What a
a
joke.
jump that quick in a long time.
No.
Like how long the hell the lights for.
Yeah.
Like I said, it shocked me. I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, cool, settling in. Normally you get like 3 seconds. Like,
With the
bang.
guy accidentally leaning on the button. And
yeah,
all.
yep. Like, it just went
Yeah.
and just caught Max off by guard, clearly.
Who's your first trophy?
All right. Reported trophy unlocked for being reported for misconduct or reporting someone.
Yeah.
This goes to both Oscar and Max
Yep.
for the inevitable radio comms after turn.
Yeah. Well, that's standard procedure, isn't it?
Very much so.
Yeah.
Straight away, he
They-
pushed me off. He
It's like
didn't
they're
give
in
me
a,
room.
in a courtroom.
Oh.
Straight away plead their case.
Yeah. And Oscar sounded like the second one they come through, where he's kind of like the second lap on the safety car, and he's still pleading his case.
Yeah.
Like, and he sounded pretty desperate.
Well, I think he knew, right? He's smart enough to know. He doesn't want
They
to be
took a
stuck
long
behind
time
Max.
to make the call.
It was almost like they were too scared to, or they didn't know what to do. But anyway, the FIA.
Yeah.
Bit of a joke at the moment. Which goes into my second trophy.
I like it.
The Rage Quit Trophy. Earned by leaving a game out of frustration. This one goes to Max Verstappen and his ongoing war with the FIA. Now,
What's
if you
to
didn't
go
watch,
now?
if you didn't watch any of the post-race stuff, he pretty much refused to take part in most of it.
God.
And any questions that came at him about the incident, just refused to talk about.
He's
So
a knob.
not only did he gets into this salty, bratty headspace
But
at
he's
times.
like you said, he's been the other guy.
He's been the other guy
so much.
more times than not.
It's like
right?
the shoe's on the other foot,
Yeah.
and he's just not having it.
So he gets the move done to him, cracks the shits.
Yeah.
At the, where they pull up on the grid, leaves that early. His interview with Coulthard, he pretty much shuts down. On the podium, he just doesn't really partake in the celebrations. He just sort of sits in the background. He takes swigs of the drink. Looks like he wanted to get plastered and forget the night. Goes in the cool down room. Looks like he's sulking in the corner.
Yeah.
Not really participating in the cool down room much.
Yep.
And then the post-race interviews with all the media pretty much was like refusing to answer questions and
Well, I hope he gets
just playing hardball.
Hope he gets a fine. Like, that's the thing. This season, I've probably gained a bit of respect for Max. With how, she's really put his driving, skill on display this year. And
I've
it's
said
like,
it once and I'll say it again. I still think he's the best driver in the grid.
yeah. But then stuff like that, it's like, man, you win some, you lose some. Like,
Yeah.
First and foremost, that's the way the game goes. Like, it's simple.
Yeah.
And the fact that you've...
And no, he throws a tantrum.
Yeah.
Throws all the toys out of the cots. If
I
it
guess it
doesn't go
just-
his way, he doesn't want to play.
Yeah, I guess it just shows he knows how sensitive that car is. He
Yeah.
knows that wins are going to be hard to come by this year,
Yeah.
and the fact that he felt for whatever reason he was in the right
Yeah.
to get that win, it shows how it shows how much he's aware of the situation with that car. But nonetheless, like you just don't shut them down like that. Yeah, it's pretty
No,
simple. like.
especially because, again, fans and spectators make up the sport and they want that insight.
Yeah.
The reason why we're hard on things like Drive to Survive is because it's so fake and phony. That's not what it is actually like behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So often these media questions and like all the post-race and pre-race and whatever, that's where you get the real insight into
Yeah.
what the driver's thinking and feeling.
And even still, it's carefully crafted.
It still is.
They're
of course.
trained. They don't say this,
Yeah.
don't say that. Don't give them
I
the
mean,
full,
You can pretty much guarantee that when they ask Charles Leclerc his opinion on the race, he's going to say, push to the maximum every time.
Yeah, and unless you're Lando, you thank the team.
Yeah.
It was the team done a great job, great
Yeah.
pit stops, great car, great upgrades, yada yada.
Yeah.
It's simple. It's the same formula that's been used for years. Like, you just do it, and except for if you're Max, you have a soul.
Yeah. Who's your next trophy?
Full send trophy for going all in on a risky play without hesitation.
Yep.
Goes to Pierre Gasly for sending one around the outside of Yuki on the plane.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting because I thought you stole my trophy, which is also the full send trophy,
Yep. Good.
but that is going to Oscar Piastri and his move on Lewis Hamilton.
Okay. You know what?
That
There's only one trophy we can give, and I'll let you give that to Oscar. You
that
just
was a
picked
full
that.
send moment.
That was a full send moment.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that.
Get that shit out of here.
No, I'll give you that one. I'll
Yeah.
give you the full send trophy on that one. We can only give one away a week.
Yep.
Yours is definitely more
Well done, Oscar.
deserving.
Not only does he win the Jetto,
He's racked up 2 trophies.
Yep.
As well.
yeah,
Two achievements.
he gets our full send trophy.
Yeah. And the reporter trophy. He's got 2.
The reporter trophy. Yep. Just look at him, racking them up.
Yep.
All right, Sunday sesh.
You don't have one more trophy?
I just told you.
Oh,
full
sorry,
set
sorry,
trophy.
sorry.
Clean
I've
it.
got one more
He
trophy.
fucking is
Yeah,
painted
you
on.
cut ahead. All right. Mod trophy earned for adding custom modifications to a game.
Okay.
This goes to the Formula One FX team
Yeah.
for at least 2 races in a row, having the onboard mics way too loud. When they cut onboard with the car and the cars are driving, you
Yeah.
cannot hear the commentary team.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And 3 a.m.
Yeah.
Like I was like qualifying, I say, because I was watching on my TV.
Yeah.
You can only have the TV so damn loud
Yeah.
before the cars are just like ripping your head off, and you still can't hear the commentary. Like,
Yeah, and then next thing you know, you got the missus and the kids waking up and yelling and screaming at you. What the bloody hell are you doing
Yeah.
up at 3 a.m.?
they got to fix that.
Yeah.
They got to fix that. Turn the onboard mics down, or
Yeah.
or turn the commentary team up.
Get it together. The broadcast this year has actually been pretty
They've had some issues.
doo-doo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they've had some issues. I mean, you've called out the fastest lap. Oh no, the driver of the day award having
Driver
the
of
wrong
the day. Yep.
wrong
Graphics.
graphics. They obviously
The
had
timing
the timing
tower
calamity
not working.
in Bahrain.
Yeah. All right. Now for real, the Sunday
Sunday
sesh.
I am stupid. I am stupid. I switch off everything.
So, if you get this right, you're an F1 purist. If you get it wrong, you're a Drive to Survive fanboy.
Yeesh, no one wants that.
No, and our box bashes
Yeah.
are the opposite. We gotta get a point in their column.
Hit me.
This is a multiple choice one. Again, I continue to make it easy for you for no God-given reason.
Hey, I appreciate it. That's what a good wingman does.
Yeah. On this day, the 2003 San Marino Grand Prix was run.
San Marino.
Yep.
So, yeah.
It was won by Michael Schumacher.
Yep.
Yeah, of course. In 2003, of course. That's why I didn't make that the question, because
Sure.
you would have got that.
Yeah.
As we know,
What didn't he win then?
as we know, he has a total of 91 career wins. Which number do you think this win was for Schumacher?
Ooh. So he retired in like 06.
First time.
First time. We know he didn't get any success with Mercedes.
Yep.
So count back. He didn't win 96, but he had a good, decent season.
So I'll let you think this through a little bit if you want, before I give you the 3 options.
Oh, you got 3 options. Oh, perfect. 95. So I'd say he probably won like half a dozen races in 96. So it puts you at 85. He didn't win in 05. I don't think. I think
He won
that
the
was-
championship by 5, I'm pretty sure.
Did he?
So he
Or
must
was
have
that
won some
Alonso?
races. Pretty sure he won 5 in a row, I think. Pretty sure he won 5 in a row between 2000 and 2000.
All right. Well, you're
Okay, maybe it was 04.
Right.
Maybe it was 2000, 2004 he won 5 in a row.
Okay. So I'm going to assume he had a pretty poor 05, maybe a bit of a mediocre. Well, if you won 04. All right, I'm going to take a stab. Give me the answers.
Okay. Oh, I thought you were
Yeah.
going to...
I'm thinking in
the...
I'm thinking in the 70 realm.
All right, so 3 options.
Yeah.
A, 82. B, 59.
Mhm.
C, 65. He had a career total of 91, which led to the end of 06, as you said.
Okay.
82, 59, or 65.
What year again was this?
03.
03. All right. I feel like he probably could have racked up 20 wins. So 60. Was it 65?
Is that your answer?
No. Was that year?
82,
Yeah.
59, or 65?
All right. I'll go 65.
Are you serious?
Did I get it?
Yes.
Well, like I said, my thought process was kind of in that 70 realm. And I was like, 59 seems too low. And 10 wins in, 3 years seems not enough. So,
See, I think in my head, I was like, you've got a project coming up.
Yeah.
In 06 specific.
Yeah.
So you knew a little bit of Schumacher stuff
Mhm.
about that year and
mhm.
obviously the year before as well.
Yep.
So I was like, I'll put a couple of high numbers up there.
Yeah.
Or one high number. Because
Try
like I wouldn't
try and bait me.
I would almost go for 82, I reckon.
Yeah.
Like thinking of that. But there you go, 65.
Ah.
Fun fact, real quick. It was a Schumacher 1-2 in the early stage of the race, Ralph in front. Their mother had just passed away days before that race.
Jeez.
And they qualified 1-2 and they led the race 1-2 to start off with.
How's that? I'm probably more impressed by Ralph on that one.
Yeah.
because he's not
He
often.
wasn't half.
Wasn't
bad.
wasn't one of the worst out there, but
Mm.
like to get the qualifying and then the race second as well.
I think
Good
it's
on
safe to say he's the second best Schumacher that's ever driven an F1 car.
Oh, very
Mm.
very safe to say.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts on Saudi Arabia?
No, that's all I got.
Like I said, Miami next. We got a week break, and then we hit Miami. So
Something special coming up in the break.
can Lando? Yep. We got something coming up next week. Special. Can Lando bounce back in Miami?
If that's a question, my answer's no. I guess my real question is, can he move off the gold rank?
Yep.
Right there, smack bang in the middle.
Well, you heard it here first. Box banner. All right. Thanks for coming around.
All right, no worries.
GG's.
Catch you on the next one.
Bye.
What the fuck are we doing here? What a stupid action. I'm going home.